You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the show. It's your boy, Studio MacGyver, and this is Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Man, has it been an interesting week for me. A lot has been going on. I have a lot to talk about this episode, so strap in and get ready, guys. Where should I begin? Wow. Let me first start off by saying I have been home for the last few days, struggling with a vicious, very ugly stomach virus. And it's only now starting to subside. So it is 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and I am recording this podcast now in my living room. And just now started to feel a little better. I want to give a special shout out to those guys at NetherRealm for making a beautiful, fantastic, excellent fighting game and putting it out here in these streets for us to play and enjoy. This is officially my favorite fighting game right now over everything that's out currently. I got to give a special shout out to NetherRealm and what they have done with Injustice 2. Amazing game. This game is fucking awesome. Okay. I've been in pain for the last couple of days, and the only thing that has taken my mind off of that has been this game. It's kind of stirred my attention away from the pain. And, I focused in on the game and trying to level up some of these characters. And boy, did it not disappoint. I just recently leveled up Batman, got him at level 20, feeling really good about it. That's my number one character. There's a handful of characters I love on this game. You got Blue Beetle, you got Catwoman, even Superman. It's a beautiful game, and I can't wait to see what they're going to bring as far as the DLC and everything else that's coming our way. Get excited, guys, because this game is bringing everything. This is what a fighting video game should be. Okay? Capcom, take notes. All right? Let's take some notes. But like I said, we'll get to that. We'll get to Injustice 2 and later on. But that's just a rundown of a little bit of what I've been going through these last few days. But in this episode, we are going to talk about Injustice 2. Amazing game. We're also going to talk a little bit about the last Dragon Ball episode, which was a filler episode. Not too much going on there. Gives you a little idea of what's to come a little bit. But I'm waiting for the next episode. That should be interesting. Also, I also want to talk about something else I did over the last few days, and something I am a new fan of. Now, we all know the name of this show is Dragon Ball Video Game Podcast, right? But don't get that twisted, because that has nothing to do with, per se, just strictly Dragon Ball. I've stated this before. I'll go ahead and state it again. This is basically a video game and anime podcast. Dragon Ball just happens to be, my favorite anime of all time. So I gave it that name. But we talk about anime, all anime here. Don't be afraid to leave any comments. If you have any questions, and you want to discuss another anime, another topic in that field, please don't be afraid to chime in on Twitter. Hit me up at Studio MacGyver, or you can email me, Studio MacGyver Music with a K at yahoo.com, and we can get into this. Today, I want to talk about One Punch Man. Some of you have heard of him. Some of you may not have. I was a little late to the party per se. Um, I've had the show on my queue uh, for quite some time on Netflix. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of time, but I had found some time being homesick, and I decided to check this anime out. And let me tell you guys, One Punch Man is the shit. Okay. Um, Very good anime. It's only one season out right now. They do have a season 2 they're currently working on. I can't wait to see it. Basically, this show is about a guy who is so strong that he pretty much kills you with one punch. No matter who you are, how strong you are, whatever. If he lands that punch, you're dead for the most part. And there's an android on there by the name of uh, Genos, and he's awesome as well. Um, he wants to know how One Punch Man is so strong, and he becomes his disciple. And I'll leave it right there, guys. Let me just say that the show is excellent. I really enjoyed myself, and after watching that season and all the episodes, I got to wondering a little bit. I got to wondering what would happen if One Punch Man fought like Goku or any of the Saiyans, the top Saiyans. If he fought Vegeta, Goku, or Gohan, currently right now, even Gods of Destruction and Beerus and some of those guys. Who knows what would happen? Who would win? For those of you out there who know who One Punch Man is, you guys can leave comments. You guys can hit me up on Twitter and let me know what you think. And we can definitely get into that. That would be something that I would love to discuss, because if you ask me, man, I'm leaning towards One Punch Man, man. I hate to say that, but I'm Dragon Ball through and through. You guys know this. But watching this anime and watching this guy, man, I don't know, man, if he can be beaten, man. I really don't. Now, there was a guy, an alien, at the end of the final episode who actually took One Punch Man's punch and didn't die from the single punch. It actually took him, a handful of punches before he was eventually killed. Excuse me. But this guy, man, this alien, this guy was very, very powerful. Goros, I think that's his name. But I don't know. You guys have to watch it for yourself and decide, okay? And please, if you haven't seen One Punch Man, don't say, well, I know One Punch Man can beat Goku, and don't go there. Watch the anime first, and then ask yourself these questions. Okay. Now, I'm one of the biggest Dragon Ball fans in the land, and I'm saying One Punch Man could probably take out Goku 1-on-1. Could probably take out Vegeta 1-on-1. Vegeta's one of my favorite characters, but look, there's no favoritism. What I'm saying, if I'm trying to be honest here. Now, there's some people that really believe that it's the opposite way, and that's fine. I mean, opinions are just that, opinions. Nobody's gonna cry, what I'm saying, because you guys don't agree with me, and vice versa. But I was just interested to see what you guys thought about that, or what would you guys think if that actually happened? If the universes collided, who would be the top dog? I just want to also give a special shout out to one of my listeners. He goes by the name of Smiler Smiles. His Twitter handle is Smiler7Phoenix, all the way from London, England. So appreciate you chiming in on Twitter, and he was very, very interested in this debate, this topic, the One Punch Man and Goku or any of the Saiyans. He was interested in that. So, I just want to give him a special shout out and thank him for listening to the show. And I hope he continues to listen and pass on the show, man. Yeah. Hey, if you love anime, if you love video games, hey, you're part of the family. Let's just get into it. Oh man, so many things to talk about. So many things. I can jump over to the Dragon Ball episode right quick. That, like I said earlier, was a filler episode, and basically what's been going on is they're everybody's getting ready for the tournament. Goku's gathered all of his friends, so everybody has to have 10 participants, and all of a sudden now Majin Buu has fallen asleep, and supposedly it's going to take 2 months before he wakes up. He can't be woken. Okay, the tournament starts in about 4 hours, so now there's 9 fighters. So now Goku has to figure out, okay, who's going to take his spot. And funny thing is, at the end of the episode, they always give you a little piece of what's coming from the follow-up episode. And apparently Krillin and Android 18 are thinking about dropping out as well for some unknown reason. We don't know yet. We'll figure it out. We'll find out next episode, hopefully, but that's what it's looking like. And man, it's getting really, really crazy out here right now. To be honest with you, everybody in their respectable universes is having trouble finding 10 fighters. So we don't know what Toriyama has in store. I have no clue. Right now, it stands that each universe has 10 fighters. It's going to be a battle royal. But this could turn into something completely different by what I'm looking at now. Unless everybody decides or gets lucky and starts to find everybody that they actually need to find right up until the very minute of the tournament. It could go a number of different ways. And if you know Toriyama, you know that he's very, very unpredictable. I'd say that. Very unpredictable. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. You got Hit, that is basically been put on a mission to go find some of the other fighters from the other tournament arc that took place. So Hit is out there looking for fighters and trying to recruit old fighters to join their universe. So it's getting interesting. It's getting pretty interesting. Can't wait for it to start and find out what's going on. We got Yamcha. Yamcha still thinks that he has a chance to get in here and do something, even though he hasn't been training. He hasn't been doing jack shit, but being Yamcha. Just laying up in the house with Poir, doing nothing. But yeah, that's not, he needs to get his mind off of that. It's not going to happen. Yamcha, it's not going to happen. Okay? But anyway, yeah, just a filler episode. Give you guys some idea what's been going on. Vegeta's finally training again. He's went to the hyperbolic time chamber and he's getting it in right now. Goku did some sparring with Whis to get ready. And that's where we are right now in that episode 91. So we shall see what's going to happen next on that note. Yeah, on that note. So going to take a quick little intermission here real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry for that. Like I said, I've been battling the stomach virus, and, I had to take a quick medication interlude. But what I want to talk about now, guys, is Injustice 2. This video game here is so good. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm at a loss for words right now when it comes to this game. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're synonymous for, their fighting games. They do make a good fighting game. Hey, they've been around for a while. Mortal Kombat made some pretty good games. But this here, man, they killed it. Everything about what they did, they nailed it. Let me first start off by saying that this is what a blueprint of what a video game is supposed to look like should be. Okay? You could tell they put in a lot of love and work into this game. And I know I can't wait for the rest of the DLC and some of the other characters, some of, some of the other super moves that are coming. It's great. And they just basically took their Mortal Kombat and put it in the DC universe, and they've done it before because Injustice, the first game, was a popular game. I never even played that game. I never got a chance to play Injustice 1. But Injustice 2, I had to see what all the fuss was about. For somebody who does love Mortal Kombat, I had to give these guys a chance. And I was a Street Fighter guy. Before this game hit, I was a Street Fighter first kind of guy. But Capcom really they really let everybody down, man, with this Street Fighter 5, man. They really did. They got selfish. They got too thirsty, and it ended up blowing up in their face in a sense. Basically, they put out a $20 game, in my opinion. When you put out a game with a limited amount of characters, with a handful of characters, and no story, not even an arcade mode, which, by the way, guys, still does not exist for this game yet, then you made some mistakes, some very big mistakes. Yeah, is what they did. And even the way that their currency works, as far as how many fights you have to fight before you can earn enough currency to unlock some of these other characters without spending real money, is very, very poorly made. Capcom really fucked up, and I'm keeping it real. I'm not gonna candy coat it. I'm not gonna run around a mulberry bush. I'm keeping it real right now. And NetherRealm killed it. They put out a game that not only has a robust roster, some characters we know, some we don't, but they're all interesting. They all make you want to know about these characters. Like Blue Beetle. I never knew who Blue Beetle was, but he's so awesome, he made me want to know about him. Like, I want to know who this guy is. I want to know his backstory. And some of these other characters too, But it's so many layers to this game. And by that, I mean, there's so many modes for you. So you always have something to do. I mean, I have never played a fighting game. I can't remember playing another fighting game this long in one sitting before. I mean, and the time just flew by. I mean, I sat down at 8:30 and then I turned around and it was 4 a.m. I mean, time just flew by, and I had fun every single second. All these modes, they have daily missions, and they have an interesting loot system where, say you got one character and you want to roll with Batman. Okay, that's your character. Okay, well, you got Batman, and you got his base form, and he starts out as level 1. All characters do. So the more you fight, of course, you earn experience, and with that experience, it raises your level. So right now, the cap stands at 20. Once you reach that cap level, basically the higher you go, of course, the stronger you get, the more damage you do. But then once you reach that level, and let's just go back for a second. Before you reach that level, on your journey to reaching level 20, when you go and you play these modes, for winning fights, you'll get prizes. You'll get random drops, these boxes, and when you open them up, you'll get pieces, basically armor pieces, set pieces for different characters in the game. Okay, and those pieces are associated with certain stats. So you can say, "Oh God, man, I got these arms for my character, and man, it gives me plus 100 in plus 100 in strength. So it's gonna make me hit harder." Okay. And what you want to do is, say you want those pieces for your arms, but you don't like the way they look. You like the way what you currently have equipped looks on you. So they cover every corner. They say, okay, well, you can take that piece of equipment and you can change the appearance. So you don't have to change the stats. You can just change how it looks, and you can still keep your stats. So you can look exactly how you want and still keep your stats. off of a dope or epic piece that you find. It's just so good, and no two players will be the same. And you also unlock shaders for your characters. In other words, different colors. Um, they've already talked about DLC, which is going to be more colors, skins for all the characters. So, like you have Flash, the current Flash of today, and right now, if you play the game, you would eventually get a random drop where you would get his throwback skin, basically first appearance Flash. You know what I mean, with his metal helmet on and his lightning bolt red shirt with the yellow lightning bolt on the front. Vintage Flash, if you will. It's just so much to do, so much to get. I went into this game thinking, oh, I kind of like Black Adam, but I'm a huge Dark Knight fan. Frank Miller Dark Knight fan, Batman. So I was thinking that I might use Black Adam, and see what happens. Play through the story mode, which is another plus with these guys. They delivered a complete game, complete story mode. The story is very good. I love how they did it. You just can't go wrong. They did everything right on this game here, man. I give these guys a 9.5, man. That's my score. They did everything they were supposed to do. Everybody else out there trying to make a fighting game, you look, take notes. Please take notes. Take some notes. But the loot system, the gear system in this game is so good. Like I said, I just before I got on here and watched the Dragon Ball episode, I just finished leveling up my Batman to level 20. He looks awesome. And there's no two Batmans that will look the same. I mean, if my Batman fights your Batman, depending on what you picked and what you like and what pieces you found, he's going to look completely different than mine. And then they also have each player, once you level up, you get up to 2 slots for different abilities. So that's also dope. I mean, I just recently got an ability for Batman where basically instead of when he throws his batarangs, you can kind of do this little explosion. But now I got one where, you throw it, and if he lands it, he's going to electrocute his opponent and stun him. I love Batman because of his gadgets and, his technology, and combine that with his genius and his tactical mind, the way his mind works, man. He can take down anybody for the most part. He'll find a way and figure it out, man. But really enjoying this game. If you guys haven't played it, I advise you to check it out. Please, if you enjoy fighting games, if you played any of the older games, you will love this game. It's beautiful graphically. Also, can't go wrong with it. I just had to give a shout out to Injustice 2, man. Beautiful game. And when I get off of this podcast, guess what? I'm jumping back on and I'm going back to the lab and get some more practicing with Batman. And we're going to get it in. And then I need to decide on what's the next character I want to level up, man. Because you want to have a backup, and then you might want to have a backup for that backup. I say a good solid 3 characters, man, and, that you're decent with, that's what you should, any fighting game, you should at least have 2. But I'm going to go with 3. Maybe even 4 in this game. Because there's so many good characters, man. You just don't understand how dope this game is. That's pretty much going to probably do it for this episode of the podcast, man. I say this every episode, and I'm going to say it again. If you guys have any comments or any concerns and you feel like you want to discuss something, please do not be afraid to hit your boy on that topic. And you can always reach me all the time on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can also email me at studiomacgyvermusic with a K at yahoo.com. Once again, want to give a special shout out to one of my listeners from London, England, for chiming in. And with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the show. This is Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.